Hi, everyone, and welcome to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Rita Eggers here with me today, and we are talking about upcoming programming at the Bristol Library. This is so exciting. You all always do such a great job, so we're excited to hear the rundown. What's going on over at the library?
Well, we've got some really exciting things coming up. The closest one is September the 6th. We have William Hill, author of Dawn of the Vampire, which has settings here in the Tri-Cities. He's done a sequel. The Ruins of the Vampires is a book that he'll have available. He's going to be signing those.
Ooh, nice.
And talking about his upcoming third book, Vengeance of the Vampires.
And vampires is a big thing right now, so I should imagine you'll get lots of people out for that one.
Sure hope to. That's going to be September 6th at 6 p.m. in the J. Henry Kegley room. That's upstairs.
And can you buy books there?
Yes, he will have books to sell. He said he's also going to bring some non-Dawn of the Vampire books for giveaway. He's going to have some bookmarks. He's going to do some questions and answers and talk a little bit about his time here in Bristol.
With all these events that you host at the library, is there a way to stream those if you can't make it? Are any of them virtual?
That's going to be something that we would need to discuss with the authors as it gets closer. We may be able to stream, the in-house, our programs, but a lot of times with the authors, it's dependent upon, their policies.
Gotcha. And then it's also nice just because obviously we have a beautiful library and it's a great way to get involved in the community and to really see, the different things that we do have. Right. Which are a lot. So you can definitely learn more than just reading a book at the library. You have a lot of different programming and it's great. Anything else this fall that we need to put on our calendars?
Well, our regular programming is something that is very exciting as well. The children's library is very active with story time every Monday at 11:30 and Tuesdays at 10 at the main library. And then at our Avoca branch on Volunteer Parkway at Wednesdays at 11:30, they have story time as well. But as far as future programs, we're pretty excited that we've got Linda Skeens coming in October, October 5th. She was a viral sensation last summer when she won 30 ribbons at the Virginia-Kentucky State Fair. We've got a copy of her Blue Ribbon Kitchen Cookbook to check out at the library. We're really excited for that program as well.
Now, if you're interested in these programs, is it best to get on the website and do you need to register or what's the best way to go about it?
We have the information on the website, just on the calendar and in our newsletter, but the best way to get the most up-to-date information is to follow our Facebook and Instagram. We've got the events information there.
So if you do need to register, you can do it on Facebook or Instagram. That's great. That makes it a lot easier because then, sometimes you are also just looking for something to do and you're like, oh, I want something to do with the family, next week. Right. And you can jump on the website or on one of the social media platforms and find some great programming at the library.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Anything we're missing that you'd like to add?
We're more than just books. Right now, we're really pushing our library of things for people who don't know that you can come to the library and check out a metal detector, fishing poles, power washer for that weekend warrior that needs to get some things done around the house, tool sets, and then fun stuff like a bubble machine and games and kites. Loads of useful and entertaining things in addition to books.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you're going to be really busy now. I heard power washer. I'm like, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Well, that is great to know. So you can go power wash and you'll be so exhausted you'll want to sit down and then read a book.
Exactly.
All righty. Well, thanks, Rita, for being on today, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Wes Walker joining me today from Friends of Steel Creek Park, and he's going to tell us about that new exhibit that we're all looking forward to. Tell us all about this.
Well, great to be here. The Friends of Steel Creek Park, we're a nonprofit, and most of our time is spent generating money through fundraising and donations and grants so that we can purchase things, exhibits, to fill the expanded nature center down there at Steel Creek. So this year we're really excited because we have finally finished all the permanent exhibits, and we have 2 that we're going to unveil officially down there at Steel Creek. The first is Park After Dark, which is a nocturnal exhibit. So all things that you really can't see during the day because the critters are asleep and all, that's going to be on display upstairs on the lakeside balcony. And it's just a wonderful exhibit because it has a nighttime constellation over top.
Oh, wow.
With a lot of detail. There's even a comet flying through. So it's
neat.
really beautiful. But then the big one that everybody's been waiting for is the completion of our giant ground sloth, which is Megalonyx, which means big claw. This is a really huge structure. It's over 8 feet tall.
Oh my goodness.
The animal, when it was here, and it's native to Appalachia, 2,000 pounds, and lived in caves. The people that did this exhibit for us, that finished it off, they actually created a cave for us. And so when you come to the Nature Center, it'll be sitting there, it's articulated, so you can walk under and get really a feel as to how large this creature was.
Oh my goodness.
So we're going to be we want to share this with all the community. So we're going to have an open house on Thursday, September 21st from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. We're going to start with some light refreshments. We're going to have Jeremy Stout, the Nature Center manager. He's going to come in, he's going to give a brief history of the sloth, why we chose it and such. And then we're going to have a ribbon cutting ceremony and a dedication, and just to go and let this become now part of our community here in Bristol.
That's great. Yeah, if you have not had a chance to get out there, this would be a wonderful time to do it. And any time is a great time to go to Steel Creek Park. And that Nature Center really is incredible. The vision that you all had is quite impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no fee to come into for the exhibit, and just come into the park and look around. This is, like I said, this is the final one, the number 11 of the permanent exhibits. There will always be new exhibits rotating through there, but what we finally, when the city gave us an expansion to the Nature Center, we had all these goals to go and put on permanent exhibits, and now we finally have gotten all of them done. So it really is a good time for celebration for us.
That is great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you. We'll be back in just a moment. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Martin Dodderwyk with me today from King University. Thank you so much for being with us.
It's a pleasure to be
There's
here.
some great programming at King always, and so get your calendars out and get pen and paper, and where do we even want to start?
Well, I want to start by mentioning we have a pretty active site now at the college's website, which is king.edu/events. Okay. And we're trying to use that as a central place for everything that's going on. It's much more convenient than what we've had before. You can also find us on Facebook as well. So we have a couple of events this month, but I want to mention a cancellation as well. A lot of people have gotten our brochure for the fall, and an event that I'm very excited about was supposed to be on the 25th with a painter called Bruce Herman. Bruce fell and he tore ligaments in his shoulder, and his surgery is a week before he was supposed to be with us. So Bruce is going to be with us in the spring.
Okay.
But we do have 2 other events this September I wanted to mention. We have 3 alumni coming back to campus to speak under the auspices of the King Institute for Faith and Culture and also the Department of History. We have a graduate who has worked for both Amazon and he currently works for Facebook. He's called Andrew Jebising. Andrew was at King many years ago, and he's coming back to speak on September 18th on some of his work in that field. So we're excited about Andrew coming back. He'll also be working with some of our science students. We also bring in September 2 of my former students. Both of these were at King at different times. They were both cheerleaders, and they were both majors in political science and history. And they've both curiously gone on to have military spouses, and they work with military spouses, and they've both done some great things. We have them both coming on the same day, on Friday, September the 15th.
Okay.
When they come back, they're going to speak together in the morning. It'll be a morning event at about 9:15. We'll announce the location. Nicole Nielsen Boudet and Michelle Lassiter Penzak are our two graduates. Nicole has been working for USAID. She worked in the House of Representatives for a while, and in her work with USAID, she wanted to move with her husband on a Navy assignment, but her job required her to be in D.C. And so she was active in passing legislation that allowed military spouses to do jobs that were highly connected to D.C. remotely. And she was actually present when the president signed that into law about 2 months ago. So she was very involved with that. So we're excited about that. Michelle is married a Marine pilot, and they have traveled around a lot. So she had the idea of trying to help other military spouses with employment. And what she has founded is a company that allows military spouses to work as PAs remotely. And this has taken off. It was featured in Inc. magazine only this month. And so Michelle's company has really done well. And between the two of them, they've done this interesting thing, and I was able to get them on campus on the same day. They don't know each other.
Okay.
And
I
so
was
they're
just going to ask, were they friends? Were they on the same
They were
squad?
about 10 years apart.
Oh, okay.
And so it's purely coincidental that they have ended up in that same kind of thing. So we're going to have them speak together. We'll have a little reception afterwards, and that's on Friday morning, September the 15th.
Wow. So definitely some really exciting things going on.
We're
in
looking
King,
forward to it.
Always.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Is
It's
there
always a
anything
pleasure.
I'm missing? I always feel like I need to ask that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Well, we'll look forward to having him back next month to feature another couple of exciting things that will be going on at King. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a minute. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Inside Bristol. I'm your host, Sheridan Nichols, and I've got Heather Moore here today from the city, and we are talking about an amazing award preserving some history in our community, which is really important. Tell us a little bit about this. I guess nominations need to be coming in.
They do. Hi, Sheridan. It's so good to be back, and it is Historic Preservation Awards season again. This is the 4th season for Bristol. We're so excited. Historic preservation is an important part of Bristol. Historic preservation is part of telling Bristol's story. And all of these historic preservation buildings do that. Each one of them tells the story of Bristol, and so we're really excited about that. So Bristol, there are several categories that are available. For example, 3 nationally recognized historic districts are already available in Bristol.
Oh, wow.
The first is the Downtown Commercial Historic District. Then the Fairmont Neighborhood Historic District was created. And then thirdly, recently, the Holston Avenue Neighborhood Historic District became available. So awards are available for all 3 of those historic districts. And additionally, a citywide award is available. And the committee have awarded a stewardship award previously for a person who has gone above and beyond in the historic preservation effort. So that might be available this year as well. We'll see.
Well, that's exciting. So if you want to get involved in this, what's the best way to do that?
The best way to get involved is to submit an application. Speaking of which,
You've got one.
applications, they're available virtually online at the city website. On the first page of the city website, the link is right there. Just to click on that link, and then it's a simple application to fill it out and then submit it to the city. Paper copies are also available at the city library.
Oh, okay. And is there a deadline?
Deadline is coming up soon, so yeah, I need
Definitely.
to hurry with that. Yeah, September 15th.
Okay, so
Yeah.
jump online
Yeah.
and make your nomination. And what are some of the requirements and some things that you're looking for?
Thank you for asking that. Requirements are simple. The committee, let me stop right there and give a shout out to the committee. The committee puts forth so much effort, and they have good expertise to be on this committee to review these historic properties. So I want to thank them for their hard work. But what they look at is first just the good work in the historic preservation effort, the construction that's done. Secondly, the attention to the detail, the sensitive nature of the historic element of the historic preservation work in the rehabilitation, the addition of the construction effort. and then how that has affected the surrounding neighborhood. It's acted as an example, a good example for the community.
Oh, how exciting. Is there anything I'm missing that you want to add about this, aside from get your nominations in?
Get your nomination in, it's time. Yeah, it's such a fun program, and I think I can't think of anything. I think we've covered it. It's a way to, to tell the story of the building that you own, and then to tell the story of Bristol, to celebrate yourself, your building. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you, Heather, for joining us today, and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.